Well, good morning and welcome to my comments video. And this is a change because it's not the busy time of year anymore. So I'm having comment videos every few days because there weren't enough comments to justify having them every day. So this is 3 days worth of comments. So I hope you didn't miss the weather report. Yesterday was a terribly windy day. And tell you how windy it was. Sally Forth, who's parked next to me, has been injured and she has a wheelchair that sits outside her rig. And she had gone to a doctor's appointment, and in the middle of the afternoon I glanced out the window and I saw the chair not very slowly but quickly roll across the desert off into the distance. So I jumped up. The back of the wheelchair acted like a sail, and I caught up with it probably 150 yards later, where it crashed into a wash, and I brought it back. That's how windy it was yesterday. That's pretty horrible. The next comparable windy day won't be until a week from Thursday. So today is going to be a drizzly, cloudy day. Not going to get much solar in today at all. And temperatures high temperatures 62, low of 49, so it's going to be a bit chilly, but be back up into the 70s tomorrow. And sunny days for the next 3 days. This Thursday, it's going to be cloudy, high of 65, low of 49. Then we get another sunny day on Wednesday, and then rain on Tuesday the 13th. And I believe that is, let me just double check here. I believe Tuesday the 13th is another windy day. Yes, sir, bub. Sustained winds up to 20 miles per hour on the 13th, with potential rain. So that could be, we need the rain really badly here. So anyone that, sorry about that, a little interruption. I got a warning that I was out of room and I had to delete 146 video files off this camera. It's been a while. Anyway, we're going to get rain. It's good that we're going to get rain. It's been super, super dry out here. So like I said, the weather for is in the 70s and early 80s, sometimes dipping into the 60s through the 21st of March. So still through the 21st of March, really mild temperatures, a couple of bad wind days, 1 or 2 rainy days. That's it. That's pretty good. So I'm going to jump into all these comments. So we got quite a few because I waited 3 days, right? Let's see. Do I have a clear lens here, my friends? I don't know. It looks a little cloudy. What do you think? So it could be the lens that's cloudy, or it could be my glasses that are cloudy. It's kind of hard to tell sometimes. Something's cloudy. All right. I think we can do. Let's make sure it does automatic exposure correctly. All right. So vanlifer RX on my comment video from back for the 3-3, that's 4 days ago, says your calm demeanor is genuine character. Thank you. She also says, very strange, but my sister and I just had major surgeries one day apart too. So Frank, my brother, and I are going to have surgeries about 3 weeks apart. But the surgery, if you're new here, that I'm about to have is a anterior hip replacement. So it's called a minimally invasive anterior hip replacement. My surgery day is the 17th of March, Patrick's Day. And yes, I have a little bit of Irish blood. If you look at my DNA test, I got some Irish in me. So that should be good luck for me. Frank is in, I think he's 2 weeks in. And he says, don't expect to be back to normal after 2 weeks, but I feel pretty darn good. He still uses his cane because he doesn't feel like his gait has gotten back to normal. So he's using the cane to try to train himself to restore his normal gait. Anyway, so Christine, let's see. On the last video store for her was a positive news video. A few days ago. Lena says that's beautiful. We need more of this in the world. Lisa Ross said that was so sweet. Naj says, wow, what a touching story. What caring people. They went out of their way to make a special girl happy. God bless them. That takes a little explanation, I think. I think more explanation when we have these videos that are days away from the videos they're commenting on. The last video store for her, number 352 positive news, was a story about the last video store in Pocatello, Idaho, closing its doors. And there happened to be a young woman with Down syndrome whose Friday night ritual was very important to her, going there and renting a video. And it was going to be very upsetting for her to lose this. So what the owner decided to do just for her was he had a Quick Mart next door. So he took a little section of the video store with her favorite movies in it and created a little mini video store inside the Quick Mart just to honor her. Beautiful story. On the comment videos, we have Dee Cornell says, hello, Mr. Rob, Dottie, and George. Naj says, praying for Daryl, my buddy Daryl, who's also getting ready to have some surgery on his ankle. And then I have how I got a big theater, big screen in my tiny RV. It was on my VR device. Rob Head says, that device is very cool. I personally don't have the need myself. If I could go off subject, this is the only way right now I have to connect with you, so I'm interested in how you like your best RV filter by Wacko. I watched your video when you bought one in the big tent. You haven't mentioned it since. I'm thinking of getting one and would trust you recommend it. I did mention it, but I'll mention it again. I'm very happy with it. It is a far superior filter, and the noise level is, I'd say, is reduced by about 30% if I had to guess. On Ken on the last video store says, what a nice man helping this nice lady keep her stability. On Ken also says, I've been thinking about your comment call may need to go to multiple days. Here we are. Just because I've been feeling like it's starting to take more effort to get it ready every day for the content. Here's hoping you soon have the opposite problem. Last video store, CLLEW or CLLEW. Very sweet story. I loved your backdrop. It looks like you drove over to the video store to make your vlog. Times have changed a lot. RV Life said, glad to know things came together for you and your surgery. I hope it does the same for Daryl. And this is a lot of comments on, I bet it's the Daryl video. Whoa. Major medical stuff for both of us. It's Daryl and I going to Phoenix. So these are, and after I read all those videos, I'll give you the latest update on the surgery. Let's go. Virginia Hankey says, I'd be careful, Daryl. Rob said he had a screw loose. Oh, wait, you do. You're both awesome. So, actually, sadly, in one of Daryl's ankles, last surgery, one of the screws had become loose. So that's got to be surgically repaired. And there's ligaments and there's all kinds of things that need to be repaired in his new ankle surgery, which is, I'm sad for him. But he's a tough guy. He'll get through it. Pup Camper, well, I'm excited to hear about your surgery date. That's definitely good news. Sorry to hear that Daryl's news is not as good as far as having to go through surgery again. And of course, my mouth was watering watching you go into my favorite restaurant, the Black Bear Diner. I'll be in Havasu next week. Probably will have to get my fix. I bet you will, Cheryl. James says, good luck on your surgeries. I broke my right femur in 4 places from an accident and had a titanium rod put in one, and one of the screws broke down at my knee, causing me not to be able to walk without a walker. They had to go in and replace one screw. Had 2 screws in the top of my hip and 2 down my knee. I've had the rod removed after 3.5 years because it was causing pain in my hip. It's 14 inches long and ran down the center of my femur. Wow. I got some replies on that one. I said in a reply, that's awful. I'm sorry you had to go through that. And he said, the titanium rod is now a conversational piece, kind of a show and tell item. Pamela Knoll says, loving to hear of your favor for March 17th and your rehab plans March. Register as wise. May Daryl also have favor. I pray the 2 tendons show up as healed. So I did talk about a potential rehab, and that's not going to happen. Medicare will pay for it, but the doctor just said, Rob, it's just not medically necessary. You're going to be fine in your trailer. You're going to recover just fine. You do not need to be in an inpatient rehab, and you don't need rehab. You don't need physical therapy at all. So he was pretty straight on that. Kate Kramer says, happy new hip on St. Patrick's Day. Glad the stars aligned for you. John Montalbano. I'm nearly bedridden with severe bronchitis in my Brooklyn, New York City apartment. Oh, John. I have 2 pit bulls I have to hire dog walkers to take out. Was feeling sorry for myself and I heard Daryl's list of surgical procedures. Now I'm taking my medicine, enjoying the ease of this passing inflammation event. I'm sorry you're sick. I'm a little jealous that you're in Brooklyn. I really love New York City. Especially, well, let's hope you're up and about by spring, because spring is just a magical time in New York City. Connie Waddle, good news, Rob. Enjoyed meeting your brother. You know he's not really my brother, right? It's kind of a joke, but he's a close friend. Stacy Jones, what great friends you have. Pamela Johnson, great news. So happy for your new parts of New Man. Just want to send a hug. Ken, glad your doctor was able to get the permission in time. That was the medical clearance from my primary care. Ken says, recommendation, I just bought a 33-inch long shoehorn because I have reoccurring vertigo. I've had it for 2 days. It's so easy to use. Place the horn in the back of the shoe and then just slip your foot in. I've got a whole kit that includes a long shoehorn, a post-hip surgery kit. Robert Bella said, Rob and Daryl, you guys are doing your part to keep the medical system afloat. Rob, hope you get the surgery at the right time. Just takes a bit of time to get many things in line up in the surgical schedule. My mother struggled for 2 years with a severely arthritic hip. Due to her 80-plus years, doctors were reluctant to do the procedure. But the day after the procedure, she was rocking around in the house without her walker. I really believe she would not have lived to the age of 92 without the surgery. It was life-changing for her to have pain-free movement again. I hope that you, Rob, and Daryl will finally get healthy and pain-free from now on. I know that Dottie really misses the extra walks and just being more outgoing around you. Mario says, Rob, you have a lot on your plate. It looks as everything is falling into place. Thank you, Mario. FSD at the Lake says, Daryl is like the Bionic Man. I say that to him all the time. I call him a cyborg. Alpha Pop, be careful with the rehab. Not only do you need doctor's order, but you also need to have 3 midnights in the hospital as inpatient. Make sure you're not there under observation, but actually admitted in order to qualify for inpatient rehab. People have been admitted to rehab but later got denied, and they ended up with a massive bill. That's not what this case was. This was a standalone hospital that I would be in. And the 3, according to Medicare, the 3 midnights don't apply to the facility like that. But I'm not going there anyway, so... Nathan, so glad you got your release from your doctor. Your surgery is on. You really got some great advice from your brother to stay in the rehab facility. If Medicare covers it. It turns out Medicare covers it, but my doctor said, no. The ride along with Daryl was definitely informative and enlightening. Thanks to both of you for sharing your experience. Renee Slater, I'm looking forward to your surgery being done and you being pain-free. And by the way, if you're curious about how my rehab, my healing is going to go from the surgery, you're going to see every bit of it, every nitty-gritty piece of it. I'm going to do that. That's all I can do videos on is my recovery. I won't be able to move much, right? $2 tip pizza delivery. That's a positive news story. And Ken says, love this. Nancy is on the medical video. Well, that's good news. There's a few on the $2 pizza tip. Pamela No says, love the generosity. And Donald Sewell says, what's a good place in Utah? I don't know how to answer that question. There's a ton of them. Check it out. Google Utah. Utah has national parks and amazing places. It's just, I can't answer that. Well, I could, but it would take too long. But Google that, put that exact question into Google, and you will get pictures and videos and wonderful things. Renee Slater, I love this. It sucks when people don't tip delivery drivers. Naj, wow, what kind-hearted people. Not only the gentleman who started the GoFundMe, but the people who donated the money. God bless them. On the medical stuff, Benita Dominguez. Gracias, Rob. Me too. Country fried steak. Yum. Brenda O'Rourke. Response to secrets to safe and fun desert camping. Best of luck on your surgery, Rob. So glad you're going to rehab for a few days after a great decision. Not going to rehab. Aborted plan. Going to be right here for rehab. So that's the plan. Exciting news for YouTubers filming in national parks. This is an old one, but Gordy Price said, "We won the Explore Act. It's now legal for commercial filmmakers to film on park lands." Dottie, thanks for keeping the narrative alive on Price versus Barr. It's been an interesting educational roller coaster ride since I got served by the NPS in 2018 for filming parts of my indie movie Crawford Road on Yorktown Battlefield. There's a documentary in the works featuring all main players involved in how our endeavors led to the Explorer S. If you want to film a short segment, I can get it to the powers that be behind the documentary. Can't promise it to be used, but I thought I'd reach out to some of our supporters to give them 2 cents. I can PM and email to you. We also have released the movie and called it Crawford Road. We've put it on the shelf for 7 years during the legal battles. It's now streaming on Fossum and on YouTube. Making sure I say hi and subscribe to my page. Glad to answer any questions for you or your viewers. Once again, Gordon Price. Thank you, Gordon Price. So I had a short on the idea of something a mentor said to me many years ago, decades ago, on the idea of competence and incompetence. That he was telling me, you find it everywhere, from the person that parks your car to the CEO of the biggest corporations in America. Competence and incompetence live everywhere, and it's unpredictable. William Moore Jr. says, sometimes it's just experience and muscle memory. I have been in QUARTZSITE since 2002, and yep, you will find a bunch of both here. Debbie says, great video, Rob. I will probably watch 2 or 3 times as I take notes. James says, thanks for the info. Much appreciated. Unfortunately, I lost my 4-legged traveling friend, Blue Heeler, 3 weeks ago. So sad. She had a stroke with no warning signs. She was a rescue dog I had for 3 years. She was 8. Oh, I'm sorry, James. RV Life, fantastic. So are you going to rehab after again? I'm not going to rehab. I know I said I really looked like I was going to go, but I'm not going. George and Dad will be much happier with their daddy home safely. I like their background. I like your background today. It looks great. This is such a great video, Rob. This is from AIM Reading. So informative and amazing. Thank you. I used to keep a fire extinguisher in my car camping until a firefighter around here told me how dangerous that was to use in a car. Apparently, it suffocates all the air out. So you have to take one last breath before you spray that all over your car, because even if you inhale those chemicals are coming out, it can cause a life-threatening issue real fast. As soon as I was told that, I took the extinguisher out, replaced it with the fire blanket. I love that you mentioned that. All the blessings to your surgery. Well, all due respect to your firefighter friend, I was a firefighter as well. If you grab the extinguisher and open the door, step outside the car, and then point the extinguisher in, you're good. Depending on how big the fire is and whether it's in the engine compartment, a fire blanket might not be useful. I strongly urge you to keep your fire extinguisher. Ken Gray, great safety information. And Ken comments on competence and incompetence, great story. Mario Fuentes says, great information about safety and camping. God blessings. There's a GPS app perfect for the desert. What 3 words? Locates by coordinates rather than a street address. I know about that. I'm not sure 911 systems are familiar with that. That's a good question. Let's see. Christina says, wow, she's really good. I gave an example of some competence that I ran into in Coyote Fresh Market today, and that's what she's talking about. She also says, you're a wise man. Thanks for the great information. Naj says, great video. I learned a lot. Donald Sewell, I really needed this video. Thanks. Dark 58D, great information and video. Would love to see a video review of your Micro Mini. Pros, cons, honest opinion. We're considering purchasing one. So I answered this person with 3 videos I've done in the past. So keep in mind, I have well over 1,000 videos out there. So if you're asking for something like that, chances are it's already there. An old video, day in the life of my nomad RV life. I think it was when I was in Nevada. It was nice to see a normal day in a normal, different area. Just shows you're the same wonderful person no matter where you are. However, I bet you missed the hot tub in QUARTZSITE. I think she means the hot tub in Pahrump. Can't wait for your surgery and recovery. Sending lots of love. Gary Bearden, do you record this video using a green screen for your background? No, I don't. There's features now in editing that will take it will recognize the person, it'll extract the background, and you can replace it with any background you want. You don't need a green screen anymore. I think people still use green screens because they're more accurate and they're more professional, but I don't worry about that. Tamara says the EMTs were great. Had a heart issue. They responded quickly and they were so caring. Really appreciate them. Kobe Karen says, I'm at La Posa South watching the clip, writing down my GPS coordinates, and here comes a big fire brigade vehicle with the red lights and all around 7:30 p.m. So she's writing down my tips for safety and contacting 911. In the meantime, there's someone they're responding to an emergency out near her. Hi, Rob. From Terry. This is one of the most helpful videos ever. Yes, most might seem like common sense, but yet we all forget. So this list of reminders is awesome. The only thing I have to offer, which isn't necessarily a safety issue, but more of something to help you enjoy your stay, is always put your awning up at night, or if leaving only for 15 or 20 minutes, it might save you $1,000 or more. You bet. You bet. It's a safety issue for your pocketbook. That's for sure. Because even on a calm day, one of these, they call them dirt devils. They're actually little mini tornadoes, can come up and wreck your awning. And if you're here, you might be able to respond to it. I've had my awning out once all season. Once. So I don't take risks with my awning out here in the desert. Dee Cornell says, good evening, Mr. Rob, Donnie, and George. I like all the safety tips that you're sending throughout the YouTube airwaves. Patty Carreta, thank you for all your thoughts for safe camping. Just a note on coordinates. If someone is a bit challenged by trying to find coordinates, I suggest they ask what 3 words. It will not only give you coordinates for where you are, but it will also give you the 3 words that are assigned to your location. In most emergency agencies, they're aware of the app and plugged in 3 words to find people. That's what I was looking for. Thank you, Patty. Dibsy Actual, great tips, Rob. George Pyle, great info. The wind is one of our concerns. We're building out an 18-wheeler and trailer, so the wind is what we've been trying to safeguard against. Don't want our first time to be our last. Here we have Life to Ruined Land. Positive news number 353. Ken says, I'd like how they diversified the crops across more than one sub-industry to secure not only financial stability, but also natural diversity. Let's see. E-bike desert ride to La Posa, around La Posa South. Ken says, nomadic fanatic took a short trip with his cats. I had mentioned, hey, Eric's bus isn't here. The rest of his camp is there. Nice to see you riding my old stomping ground, the spot. I haven't seen or talked to Randy in a long time, and I'm very sorry to hear about Ace. That's his dog. Just now, if I may ask what happened, I spend lots of quality time with that dog and loved him and vice versa. Randy looks healthy. That's great to see. I'm glad your surgery is on the books and you have an amazing support system to help you. And all I know is I think that Ace had just kind of a sudden illness, maybe a seizure over the summer, and he passed away. And I'm going to type a response. I don't think over the summer, quickly, without warning. So I've answered because I don't think she watches this. Donald says it's too hot there in October. Yeah, maybe. I mean, I don't usually come until November. You can come September 15th for the pass. October's pretty hot. Old Man 52, the rise in cost and restrictions to the LVAs will certainly drive more people in the 14-day free areas to use and abuse. They better get the new water systems working next year, that they're not this year for that jacked up fee schedule, or BLM will have bigger problems to come. And I said, someone said, when did Ace pass away? And I said, last summer. Let's say DD Cornell, good evening. His daily good evening message. Judy Val, I heard her the big rigs honk at sundown this year. No, neither have I. Randy says, I really enjoy your e-bike rides. It seems so peaceful there right now for Dottie and George. Pamela Knoll, that was a neat video. Enjoyed it. Debt relief kindness, 354 positive news. A man that relieved debt for a lot of people in his community. Morning hope, you and Dottie are doing well. That's from Donald Sewell. This is on, I'm selling my Pahrump preferred RV resort membership. I'd buy it, but the time, John McFarland says I'd buy it, but the timing is off. I've got 6.5 more years to go. I'll watch more closely where you land, though. I like northern Arizona, but see, they have high electricity bills. Ken says you're going to miss the fish, I'm sure. He means the koi pond. Cotty Wample, I'm in the process of selling my house. They have a thing where you can sign paperwork digitally over the internet. Might be the same for your situation. Stacy Jones says, I'm so surprised I always hear about how much you enjoyed living there. Yeah, well, it doesn't mean I didn't enjoy it. You know, when you're a nomad, thing to get used to, if you're going to follow nomads, things change. Things change. And that's one of the beauties of being a nomad is you set up a life that can easily be changed. Debt relief kindness. Krista Lena didn't know the actor, but wow, it's a big helping hand. What a generous soul. Ken Gray says Arizona has a flat 2.5% individual tax rate. It does not tax Social Security retirement benefits. Most New Mexicans don't pay state income tax on their Social Security benefits. Taxpayers 65 and older can deduct up to $8,000 from their taxable income. There are also 4.88% state sales tax rate and an average combined state and local tax rate of 7.62. It also does not tax Social Security retirement benefits. Christina, Rob, gas in South Carolina is in the $2.30. Christina says, hey, Pup Camper 58, maybe a drive around town while Rob is recovering. Okay. I'm not sure. Driving me around town? I don't think I'll be up for a while for driving around town, even as a passenger. Silver Turtle. I stayed at Pahrump Preferred RV Resort for a couple weeks a year ago. I had a great experience, great community, and had an event with great food and a band. Nice facility. Hola from Costa Rica. Rob says, I'm so surprised, homeward bound. Debt relief kindness. Ken says, definitely a generous person. Renee Slater, I hope you find a great place at a great place. Do you ever miss moving from place to place instead of being stationary? I'm not stationary. I haven't been since I retired, so I guess I don't completely understand the question. I'll find a great place, but I'm a nomad. I don't have to. I don't have to find another place real soon. So I'll, in this next, I have this whole year to figure it out. I'm kind of surprised you're selling because you seem so happy there. Doesn't mean I'm not happy there. I guess folks that don't understand this lifestyle or are sitting at home don't understand changing direction on things, but it's part of the lifestyle. What have you learned? Over for now says, what have you learned having a cat? We travel with a cute, crazy cat. Are there health issues you encounter with your cat? Well, yeah. My cat has motion sickness, so I worked with a vet and tried various things, and the only thing that really works is I have to sedate George when we on travel days, and that's the only thing that works. Otherwise, no issues. Judy Vowell, that price is absolutely fabulous and we'll get a great deal. It's a beautiful park. Rob let me stay it as his visitor twice. Sure to rain. You won't need crutches. The walker is fine. Okay. Robert Ballard. Hi, Rob. I feel a little like you're closing a chapter in your life. I'll miss your visits there as you ride around and chat from the beautiful fish pond area. On the bright side, you follow your travel with Dottie and George wherever you go. Stay well. It doesn't feel like I'm closing a chapter in my life. It's just one place. And I can go back and stay there as a non-member if I want. It's like instead of $500 a month, it's $700 a month. I could, it doesn't preclude me from going back to Pahrump. And it doesn't preclude me from doing another situation like the Escapees Park in Pahrump. So it's not that big a deal, guys. It's not. It really isn't. Debt relief kindness. Lisa Ross says that's awesome. Grand Flasher, who does notary and QUARTZSITE? Is it Ironwood? Yes, Ironwood does it, and the library does it. Help me retire soon. The more sugar a person drinks, you'll have more inflammation. The reason I know is I cut out all drinks with sugar and calories. They lost 30 pounds in 4 months, less swelling in ankles and socks go. I'm not sure why you're telling me this. I don't drink sugary stuff. Welcome to I Like the Beard. Terry Williams. Rob, this is Terry over at Pampa, Texas. You mentioned you might check out New Mexico. Did New Mexico go from 225 to 600 a year? I know they went out. I don't remember the numbers. You'll have to look at their website. Mine is that I bought last year is good until July 31st. So starting in August, I'm going to be up in Eagle Nest in a private place anyway. So I'm not really concerned about the annual pass price increases because I'm not going to buy another one. Nomad Extina. I'm in the process of purchasing a small undeveloped lot near Blue Water, New Mexico. There's no zoning, so in theory I can camp on it even if I never develop it. I'm still looking for additional small parcels. Good luck on the sale. Sounds like a good deal. A lot of people do that. I don't have any present interest in buying a piece of land. And the reason is I crave interaction and community. And if I buy a little piece of land all by myself, I'll be miserable. So that's why I want to be in a community area. I did a short on my 12-year-old Alien laptop. I have an Alienware laptop that I bought in 2013 it was like $2,000 back then, 12 years ago. And I brought it out and updated it and everything. It's my backup. So I was just making sure it was okay. And I was amazed at how well it was doing. I did a short on it. And Randy says, my son begged me for that relentlessly. On selling my preferred RV membership, best of luck with your surgery and your new location. And this morning I did, this guy is a hero. A guy who figured a unique way to get a pothole filled in his community. And Patty Coretta says, very creative way to warn people of a dangerous pothole. It's pretty funny. You'll get it. You'll get the joke as soon as you see the thumbnail on the video. Well, that's it it looks like maybe every 3 days might be something that makes a lot of sense. So take care, and I will see you all tomorrow.